Hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope you're doing good. It's Patty. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit tonight about Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. And I hope you'll stick around because I'm going to talk about Sebastian first because I have some things on my mind that I think are important and I want to talk to you about them. And then I have some things I want to say about Summer Wells that I've been doing a lot of thinking, you guys, for the past few days. Really, for the past couple weeks. I just been thinking, and I've done a lot of, I've watched a lot of crime things. I don't watch crime stuff just because I like crime. No, I watch crime stuff because I want to be aware of what's happening. If there's a missing child or a missing person or a really serious bad case and I'm alerted to it by the news or YouTube, whatever, then I'm going to probably watch it. And I've been watching stuff like that for a long time. Trials of different people that I've known about that have committed crimes. Not that I know, but that, I've heard about. So, but the thing I want all of you to know is that I am like a people reader. Like, to me, I think that I can read people pretty easy. I'm not no psychic or nothing weird like that. I'm just saying that I can get a lot of information from people's expressions and the things that they say. And because I've watched a lot of different crime stuff, I really have seen the patterns of behavior. The patterns, it seems like so many of these cases follow the same path. They're like, it's very strange, but they're so similar. They have a lot of similarities in every case. And so I wanted to discuss a few things about Sebastian's parents here when they went on Nancy Grace. And I want to talk to you about a few things about that. But I wrote down some notes and I want to read them to you and talk to you about them because I think that when you have patterns and similarities in cases, that it could be a useful tool to figure out, and through a process of elimination. And because they're the same, things are the same, that maybe it gives you clues on where to look and how to find somebody. And I'm just going to give you an example, okay? So the behavior of criminals is what I'm talking about here. So one thing I notice is that when people, in missing person cases, when people describe, their loved one went missing, it just seems like to me that in a majority of the time that, it's not, there's something wrong with the picture. Like, they say they went in these kind of clothes, but they never really seen the person leave, so they really don't know what they had on. They can look through their house and see, what clothes he's there, but how many outfits would you, come on, my son has 1,000,000 shirts and 1,000,000 pairs of pants and pajamas, and it's like, how would you know what is missing out of that house? And what if he changed his clothes, just like I've said before? How do we know Summer didn't have something else, that she wasn't wearing something else when she left? And it didn't necessarily, how do we know that she had the outfit on that Candace said? Because from what we know, Summer had on a pair of pants, a jacket, and a pink shirt. So, I don't know, you guys. I guess that's the outfit she went missing in. That's what she's trying to say. So, anyways, it's very, very strange. Summer went missing without any shoes. Sebastian went missing without any shoes. A lot of people go missing without any shoes. And of course, no phone. And of course, the important things to them, they never take. Like jackets and things like that. I don't believe Sebastian ran away. There's no way that you're going to convince me that he ran away. He's a vulnerable child with special needs, and he needs help, and he needs guidance, and he would need food and water, and I don't believe someone's going to keep him locked up in their basement. And I'm sorry to say that, but they're not going to keep Sebastian locked in a basement. For what purpose? For what purpose would they keep him? I mean, come on. And second of all, not with this much police presence and searchers everywhere looking for Sebastian. You're not going to tell me that someone nearby has got Sebastian and keeping him, okay? At the very worst scenario, Sebastian could have run off, or they could have locked him out of the house, and he could have froze to death somewhere, and he could be hidden somewhere. But I really do not believe that's the case, because if they went looking for him, they would have found him. I believe that. So, the parents. So anyways, I want to continue on, but I do want to say that you can't always trust what people say about the clothing that the child had on when they went missing. But it is very interesting that Sebastian was dressed all in black. And it makes me wonder if this was on purpose that they said this. I do not know. But I do know one thing, and I will tell you about this criminal case that I heard of years ago. This boy went missing. They said he had on a yellow hoodie. Yeah, like a big yellow hoodie, fluffy hoodie. And, what do you call that? Like a fleece, yellow fleece, big hoodie. So that was all over the news that he went missing in this yellow fleece hoodie. Well, I don't know if they ever found him. Yeah, I think they did after many years, but the point is that the police found out that mother lied, because that jacket, that fleece pullover, that yellow thing, came up. It was at her house, folded up in a pile of clothes. And so all I'm saying is, if someone's trying to hide a crime, they're going to cover it up by telling you a lie, even about what the person's wearing, okay? They always give, it seems to me, okay? I'm looking at the behavior. I'm not talking about just Sebastian's parents, okay? I'm talking about criminals in general. Sorry, excuse me.
Thank you for being with us.
Okay, so the thing of it is, what I noticed in all these cases, usually, when they're trying to cover up a crime, they give a false lead. I'm trying to show you my notes here. Okay, they give a false lead. And so, like, they'll say, well, For instance, okay, Don and Candace saying that Summer Wells, somebody came up in the yard and abducted her. First, they must have been waiting in the basement, right? But then it was somebody came up in the yard and abducted her. And that she would never leave the property, blah, blah, blah. Well, now, the Proudfoots, they already said that Sebastian's scent was picked up by the retainer pond, but they drained the retainer pond. And they just said some different things like to mislead. To me, it's like they're misleading people on purpose, okay? And so that's one of the things that does happen, but this is what I want to talk about. So I see a lot of searchers going out and they're looking all around and they're just going wherever, random places with no real structure and no real plan that I can see. So, but the thing is, they're just looking everywhere and anywhere. But I want to tell you something, because in almost all of the criminal cases that I've seen with serial killers, child predators, parents who are guilty of unaliving their children, they always either dump the body, and I want you to hear me, they either dump the body by a side of a road or just off the side road, not far off the road, like into the woods a little bit, in a ditch, in the water, in the trash. And not that often do criminals have time. Like, okay, so like if you were a serial killer and you were doing this your whole life, I mean, like look at John Gacy and different ones, like they buried the bodies, yes. But when you're talking about somebody who has like a missing child or of that nature, or a missing wife or a missing husband or whatever, they don't really have the time before they're reporting this to the police to be going and digging and burying bodies. I'm just going to tell you that. You know, people need to use common sense when they think about these things, because, from what we know, and this is a fact, is that Sebastian was seen. I don't know what time they left the restaurant. I'm sure I'll hear about it when I go through a little bit of this interview here. But they only had from that time until 6:30 in the morning. If the mom or stepdad allegedly did this, I don't know. But I'm trying to tell you something, that he was seen alive. Sebastian was seen alive at such and such a time after dinner. So they had from that time, from that moment on, that something could have happened. And the stepmother could have went straight to see Chris at the campground. They could have did something. They could have got rid of Sebastian that way. Possibly. These are just my opinions. They are not facts, and everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not stating for a fact. I'm saying it could be possible that she could have met him. She had plenty of time to take a 3-hour drive after she got out of that restaurant and come back and be back by 6:30 in the morning. Same thing with Chris. He could have came home, did something with Sebastian, and took him. In my opinion, and my very strong opinion is that Sebastian is somewhere on the route to stepdad's work. Okay? So I don't believe Sebastian is in Alaska with no people, his relatives, because They got a really tight border in Canada when you try to go over there. So, no, I do not believe that. But what I want to say is the places that the body normally, in almost every single one of these cases, I'm looking at the behavior and the things that these serial killers and these terrible people, evil people that harm their children, it's usually, you guys, almost all the time, it's either dumped by the side of the road or not far off the road, in the water or in the trash. Now, and usually you would not be looking for somebody in clothing, okay? You would be looking for trash bags. The body could be in a cooler, a suitcase, wrapped up. Usually that is how the bodies are found, okay? Like for brave, bad, really wicked, evil people like, Ted Bundy, different ones. But, if they leave them out in the open, it's because they're really bold, like the Long Island serial killer. They don't really care. They're just dumping bodies everywhere. But when someone's trying to cover up and hide, they're going to do certain things, and usually those are the things that I've seen that they do. So trash bags, coolers, suitcase, or wrapped up, those are the things that you're going to be looking for, not necessarily a body, in black clothes, or anything like that. Usually, the body is usually transferred by vehicle. They usually, I've seen it a lot. It happens. They're in the trunk or the bed of a truck, or a camper. The truck's covered with something. They don't usually put the body nearby when they're trying to be hidden. So this is what I've been studying and thinking about, the behavior of all these different cases. And I'm just telling you that almost all the time, this is the situation, okay? Now, another thing. I got another whole page here. There's my little cute dog. So, more than one phone is usually what these people have. Like, not just, one phone or two phones, but like extra phones and different places that they're talking on that you wouldn't even know. For instance, Chris could have left his phone at the campground. He could have left it like online, like he's talking to her, and set it on the table. She could have did the same thing. They could have had other burner phones. This guy in Alaska who was a horrible torturer, he unalived 2 women, tortured them in a motel. But the thing is, he had 10 burner phones, you guys. 10 burner phones. It is the sickest case I've ever heard of. And it's too hard to even listen to. But what I'm saying is he had 10 burner phones. So you don't know how many phones people have. They might tell you, oh, sure, here's my phone. You can have it, police officer. Yeah. But
from root to tip, Regamore is the hair wellness brand.
It's the only one that they have, So, but that's not the only one they have, excuse me. Also, I noticed that in a lot of these crime cases, not all of them, but in a lot of these cases, they go to the store to get supplies. For instance, like they go buy things like bleach, plastic, trash bags, lye, shovels, things like that. And I noticed a lot of people have done that in these criminals. That's what they do. They go buy items to take care of their crime. It's crazy. So they should, everyone, I hope the police have searched the stores, like the local stores, to see if the Proudfoots have been in there buying unusual items, okay? Same with Don and Candace, they should have did that. But now, what I noticed, I tried to list as many as I could think of from watching these cases, that usually the usual cause of death is either asphyxiation, suffocation, strangulation, beaten, knife wounds or gun wounds, starvation, froze to death in a garage. Somebody made mention that Sebastian might have been kept in the garage. Maybe that's why the mattress was out there. What if they kept him out there too long and he froze to death and then they had to do something? It's just a theory. I have no idea, you guys. But usually when it comes to missing kids, usually almost always there's child abuse and neglect. And they always report them as missing or abducted, kidnapped. Okay. And they'll lead a narrative and they'll go on about it. So those are just my thoughts, just my, I'm trying to turn this thing off and I don't know where the dang button is now. Oh, come on. But yeah, they're just my theories, my thoughts from looking at this and thinking about it and just considering all the ways that criminals have behaved in the past and what is a typical behavior for them. So that's just that. But anyways, I'm going to get to, I got to let this commercial play. Because, they won't let you. But anyways, I want you to hear a couple things, and then I want to discuss it, okay? I got to find my volume here. Make sure that you can hear it. Okay, so listen to what they're saying here.
This is Sebastian's biological mother and his stepfather.
Sorry, I just wanted to go past that a little bit.
I believe you said BJ's, where he had a, quote, colossal popcorn.
So we were on the phone together.
So now, it is strange that it seems like the parents do something really fun with these kids before they go missing. It's really strange to me.
Now, midnight, is that correct?
It is.
Hold on.
Question, to go to bed, he says, okay, he goes to his room. Is that
I gotta go back just a little more.
goes missing? Miss Proudfoot, I understand that the day before, which would have been Sunday, if I've got the information correct, that you guys went out, you went to dinner, you went to somewhere, I believe you said BJ's, where you had a, quote, colossal popcorn. Then you came home that night, and around 9 p.m., you tell Sebastian to go to bed. He says, okay, he goes to his room. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That night, I understand from previous statements you've made that you went to bed around midnight. Is that correct?
It is.
And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, did you also go to bed at midnight, or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time because we were on the phone together.
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend. Christopher
You were
wasn't.
not home.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
How far away is that?
3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep.
And what were you doing in Memphis?
Working.
Where do you work?
Okay. I want to just tell you something for a minute. So you noticed from doorstep to doorstep, right? You noticed that, so it takes 3 hours and 30 minutes, supposedly. So, you understand that Chris Proudfoot was not working when Summer went missing. He might have been in that campground, but he was in a camper. And he could have easily drove back home, and even made it back before 6:30 in the morning. So I truly believe that whatever happened to Sebastian happened not long after the restaurant, but I believe it might have happened around 9:30 when she says she put him to bed. I really don't get that she heard a thump, she says, and then she don't go check. My son falls a lot, so if I hear a thump in his bedroom, he's disabled. And if I hear a thump in his bedroom, I'm saying, "Are you all right in there?" And if he doesn't answer me, I'm going to check on him, because I don't need him falling or something him getting hurt. He's 36 years old, but he has bad balance, so I don't understand why she wouldn't have checked him. So that's just really strange to me that she would insert that right into this conversation. And I also, I wanted to get to a part on this that I found interesting. Hold on here.
I'm currently working, or was working. The master bedroom's on one side, and the other two bedrooms are on the other side. Yes, ma'am.
Is that Faith? Is your other daughter named Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where is Faith's bedroom as it relates to Sebastian's
I'm
bedroom?
not looking for that. That's not what I was looking for. Anyways, you guys, if you go, I don't want to go through this whole video, but on this video, he talks about how I'm not sure if it was this one or the other one with Nancy Grace, but Chris talks about that they were the ones that called the United Cajun Navy, and I believe that they're the ones that tipped off and told them that JLR and Dolly Vision and those people were over there at that park videotaping where they thought they found something there where the dogs hit, which they did hit. I don't care what anybody says. On something. They hit on something. And it was never cleared up. They try to say that it was. But anyways, you guys, they got people following the searchers. They got people tipping them off. That's why they were given a hard time, because somebody gave a phone call, and I believe it was Chris Proudfoot, and I think he called and told the United Cajun Navy that you guys were there and the people at the property. I think he's trying to sabotage the searching. And I also think that they're trying to find out information and to stay in the loop of what's going on. And I think they're trying to distract to keep people away. I also think that, you know, they could be doing something with Sebastian right now. He could be somewhere over there where he's camping and the mother's there with him now. You know, I seen a post, I think it was on Facebook, Sebastian missing, and somebody said, well, do you blame this mother for, I would leave too, she's worried about people hurting her, harassing her. And I said, so I commented, and I said, well, what about her parents that are staying at the house? Isn't she worried for their safety? Isn't she worried that they'll be harmed? And why didn't she stay with them at the house? And I just find it very strange that she had to go with him. So they may very well be been up to no good doing some stuff over there, you guys. Remember Letitia, you remember Gannon Staunch? And she hauled him all the way to Florida. She had him in her trunk. And then she rented a U-Haul or whatever and hauled him the rest of the way. Also, Adam Montgomery with Harmony. He hauled Harmony around with him for quite a while and even put her up in the ceiling at the homeless shelter, and she was decomposing. And it is just horrible. But what I'm saying is, you do not know if Sebastian was somewhere, and they put him in there and took him to the campground now. We don't know. We do not know, but I can tell you this. I do not believe he walked out of that house on his own free will. I don't believe that somebody abducted him or he's just missing, walked off, wandered off. I'm sorry to say. Somebody did harm to Sebastian, and I have a feeling that they lost their temper with him. And the thing with the mother's face, I just want to turn this on for a second more because I want you to see her face.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep?
I'm telling
They
you.
have a big...
If you look at her eyes, she looks real resigned. She looks not sad. She does not look unhappy. And to me, she is just going along with whatever the story is and whatever Chris says. And he's got a cocky look on his face. And it just, we've heard the stories of him being abusive to Sebastian and to his other kids, and to his ex's children. And, this guy, I'm sorry, but he's got the true narcissist, psychopath traits. Not happy with other people's children, thinking that he can discipline them. And, really, I hate to say this, but a lot of step-parents actually hate their stepchildren. But you would never hear them say it, but they hate them. And you can tell by their passive aggressiveness like they hold all that aggression inside, but they really truly hate them deep down, and I believe that. And, maybe Katie did something. Maybe, an accident happened. But I do believe somebody's temper was lost on Sebastian. Something happened. And I don't really know what that something is. And, it's probably going to be very sad to find out. But I really think that searchers need to focus more on, like what I said, on the route to the workplace, on, routes, trash bins, ditches. Look at Barry Morphew. He made a lot of garbage dumps. Kept going all along the highway dumping evidence, they believe. Suzanne Morphew's stuff. And then look at Jennifer Fotis Dulos. Him and his girlfriend, Michelle Draconis, they were seen on camera dumping things of Jennifer's. And they still haven't found Jennifer's body. So, all I'm saying is, you don't want to say it's a typical way of how these people behave, but it just seems like you have to think about how much time did the person have to commit the crime, to get rid of the body, how far would they go, in what amount of time, did they have help, what kind of places would they dump this body if they had to dump it somewhere quickly in the night. So, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that Sebastian was buried somewhere or anything like that. And I feel like a lot of people are wasting a lot of time just looking around in places that, you don't know. I mean, take the time, go all the way like JLR did to his work. But, people got to get boots on the ground. You can't just drive around your car or talk to people. You actually have to go and search and look. And that campground, I hope the police search that campground. And I hope their camper was searched. That's what I'm saying. So, okay. I want to talk about Summer Wells for a few minutes. I don't know, you guys. I pray that they find Sebastian Rogers. I mean, I want him to be found. I just, I don't know what's going to happen here. Hold on here. I don't think there's anything new in the Summer Wells case, and it's really disappointed. It's disheartening. Hold on, I gotta get to the video that I seen the other day that I thought was pretty dang good. It's from I believe 2 years ago. But I can't remember. I gotta find the name. I sure watched a lot of stuff on Summer Wells over the past 3 years, and I don't know, people were complaining and saying, there's other kids missing besides Sebastian, and Summer Wells is still missing and nobody's talking about her. Well, come on. I mean, you guys know I've been doing nothing but talking about Summer Wells, and people will complain about that if you just talk about Summer Wells. And people will complain about it if you don't. So it's like you're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this dang video. I would really love to, because I just had it.
Do not have any evidence at this point.
Hold on. I wouldn't think it would be this far, but oh, it could be coming up close here now. It was a really strange name, you guys. I gotta find it, because there was some things I want to talk about on here if I can get it. Where's this dang thing?
Jonathan Lee Riches in it.
It's not Jonathan. So Jonathan Lee Riches hasn't been doing nothing bad, and I don't know why people want to sit there and trash him. You know, I don't care what you think of him or what your opinion is or how you think you know about his past. He's been doing a lot of good things. So, you know, people that just want to talk crap are just ignorant. You guys ain't doing nothing, but you're going to cut down other people who are out there doing something. And all I've seen was JLR has had a lot of compassion, you know, a lot of times. You know, he saved 30 dogs that were left by the migrants, you know, the illegal immigrants, and he got them all with a rescue. And he helped them all, and he took his own money, and he went and fed them all kinds of food and gave them water. So I seen him do a lot of good things. So I don't know, you know, you can say what you want, you can cut him down, but I really don't think that he's that bad of a person, no matter what people want to carry on and talk about. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this dang thing now. I'm so mad. Anyways, you guys, I'm not going to be able to find it.
Hello. What I'm going to present to you is
Sorry.
a very
Dang it. It's so ignorant. I can't find it. Oh, wow. Summer Wells. This is Summer Wells. Summer Wells. She's missing from Rogersville, Tennessee. If you have any, this is her. This is what she looked like when she went missing. She's been missing for almost 3 years. She will be in June 15th of this year. If you know anything about her, please call TBI, 1-800-TBI-FINE. But anyways, I I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this dang thing that I told you I was going to give out, but then it got back into me that I need to try to find it. And I guess not. Well, I'm just going to talk about it because I can't find it at the moment. Of course not. I did have a video I wanted to show you, but can't find it now. But anyways, do you guys remember when Don Wells, in the interview, in the first video, he talked about the boys, and he said so many times, Summer, so many times, Summer was left outside by herself. The boys weren't keeping an eye on her. And he said, boys, where's your sister? Go get her. And so I think that Summer's wandered around by herself before. And I want to just say this about Candace. Candace said, the dispatch said that she went on a walk. Mom went on a walk. That she was gone about 10 minutes. She come back and she couldn't find Summer. And do you remember all the times Candace said, watch, boys, watch your sister. I'll be back. And you would not tell your children that if you're at your grandma, right at the trailer. You would not say, boys, watch your sister. I'll be back. They would know that you would be outside. That is not normal. And so that is a big lie. And I'm really, really leaning towards the fact that I believe that they were not watching her and something happened to her or something. She is somewhere. But it's really strange that the boys were down at the creek. It's really strange it's really strange that they hid when Jody Sue came. She even said they did because she said they acted like they were being suspicious. It's strange that Don wanted to go to the bottom of the hill. He didn't even check the top of the hill to see if they found her. He didn't go in the house or nothing. He didn't say, did you guys find her? He didn't check with the cops. No. He drove over to that shed in the bottom of that hill. And it just really makes me think that maybe because they stress so much about watching, and I watched her go all the way up to the door. I watched her go in. You know, it's just really weird to me that they would do that. And I truly believe the milk jug video was supposed to be like a proof of, you know, look, she was with us. Everything was fine. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? The reason that I wanted to show you the Sebastian video is because why I was going to look through that is because I caught Katie saying he was happy that morning. Isn't that weird, you guys? Why would she say he was happy that morning? She's seen him just the night before, right? So why would she say he was happy that morning? He was already gone. So it just was like a weird slip. It was like weird that she would say that he was happy this morning. I have to go back and try to find it for you, and I'll share it if I find it, but not tonight. But You know, I truly believe that Summer either was sold or they were not watching her. And look at what Hunter said, that she got drunk many times and didn't remember where Summer was. I mean, she could have died in the car. It's weird that, you know, she could have died from heat exposure, and they covered it up because I don't think they would go to the police because they would be facing like bad charges, long time sentences, because they've already had problems and CPS cases open on them. So I think that they would have been in some heavy trouble even if Summer would have died and they left her, neglected her in the vehicle. I mean, these parents are getting in trouble for all kinds of stuff that their kids do or what happens. But I'm just saying that I believe that it's very possible that Donna Candace weren't watching her and somebody could have drug her out of there. I don't think so. And if it was, I do believe that it would be somebody like that guy that came up there. I will not say his name, but you know, the creepy guy that bought some property and stuff like that. He would be my number one suspect if there was anybody. It's weird that Jody Sue Brown's son was creeping around that house. And then he went right off to the military. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying it's weird. But I do think because Donna Candace have not grieved, they have not been that upset, they have not been searching, they have not been looking, just like Katie and Chris. They're not looking for Sebastian, and Donna Candace haven't either, which tells me they've already resolved it in their heart what happened to their child. They already know what happened. They know she's gone and she's not coming back, or they'd be desperate to find her. And the same with the Proudfoot. She'd be desperate to find Sebastian, but nobody is except his own father. And nobody's desperate to find Summer except for the people on YouTube who are keeping her name out there. You know? And Facebook. Sharing information. Yes, there's lots of missing kids. The reason that I don't really cover Michael Vaughn is because I think the police already think they know who the suspects are. And not only that, if I told you my real opinion, then everybody would give me flack and would hate on me. And because, you know, I always say look at home first. Look at the home first. And, you know, everybody has their own opinions. But I'm just saying I refuse to cover it because there's too much drama. People would really take offense at my thoughts. Also, about Michael Vaughn's case. Also, Elijah View. I would cover it, but there isn't really much to cover on it. We know that this stepdad did something to him. They're looking for a body. I heard they found a blanket or a jacket or something. I don't remember a blanket of Elijah View's. But, you know, there's just really not much to even talk about because we know that it's just a matter of time till they figure it out. The cops figure that one out. I don't really know of a lot more. I mean, I know there's other missing children cases. I'm not saying that. But some of them have no information with their case, no real leads or anything to go on, so it's hard to cover their case. It's hard to say anything. So, but I've tried to keep Summer's name out there. I've tried to talk about her. She's a sweet little girl. I'm sad that whatever happened to her because it's been 3 years and no proof of life, no sign of her anywhere. I don't believe she's alive anymore. And I believe her parents know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have said, oh, we'll see her in the resurrection. Like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. And I see Katie and Chris. I don't care who you are. I know that Katie and Chris and people have to eat, right? They have to eat food. But if you think that I could go out to dinner and leave my doorstep and or even celebrate any kind of dinner or Easter holiday, anything like that, I could not, knowing that my child is missing, probably not eating no food, probably cold, probably scared if they're alive. But they are not doing that. They are enjoying themselves and doing whatever they want. And I seen a lady, and she went and she went to these parks and showed that
I was falling asleep on him.
there was no flyers. There was no signs. And these people were at the park all the time. So there's a lot of lies being spread. And it really reminds me that of people that are trying to create a narrative. They're guilty. They're trying to create a narrative. They're trying to mislead people. And they're worried about somebody finding Sebastian. And they don't want no searchers. And they don't want anybody around. Or they wouldn't be following people. So those are my opinions, but I just think that Summer, that it has something to do with not watching her. It has something to do with, like I told you guys before, it's so weird. Because they didn't plant no flowers. They didn't plant no flowers, you guys. Summer didn't plant no flowers. I don't believe she ever got out of that vehicle. And the thing is that I believe it was a different neighbor. Some lady. It wasn't Marlena. I don't know who it was. But they said that Summer was supposed to be able to come over and play with her child. And I think go to the movies or something. But Summer had ripped out the flowers or something that Candace had planted. And Candace really wailed on her, locked her in the basement, and she was crying, screaming, kicking. And CPS was called on Candace because of that. So, this is allegedly, this is what somebody said. This was like a couple years ago, and I even discussed it before. But it's weird that Candace puts out there that we were planting flowers, and maybe it really is connected to something else. She's just remembering, how she beat Summer and locked her up and stuff like that. I pray to God that they find her someday, that there's closure to Summer's case. I don't know if there ever will be. I mean, look at Joe Clyde Daniels. This is going on years and years. I mean, it's really hard. Waiting, wondering, hoping, My dog's down there sleeping. I don't know if you could see him. But, he's a little cutie. I love him. Let me see if I can turn this light on. He's like, "What? Don't turn that light on me." He's just a cute little baby boy. My little sugar bear. Oh, yeah. But anyways. Yeah. I really think that the parents, sorry, these are just my opinions. I think that the parents, step-parent and mom, know where Sebastian is, that they lost their temper. That's my theory, in my opinion. I don't think he was kidnapped. He would be taking a pretty big risk. I mean, by family. Like, I don't think family took him and hit him, or people hit him out. There's no way. And Sebastian would want to go to his dad. And if he was just hiding out with somebody, he would look for his dad. And my heart is broken for Seth. And I pray for him all the time. I've been praying for him, that God will give him strength. And I'm always praying for Sebastian too. And Summer Wells. I will never forget Summer Wells. And I'll continue to talk about her as long as I can. She's a precious little girl. She was only 5 years old when she went missing. And I do believe her bald head had something to do with punishment. And I think they punished her a lot, and that's just my opinion. So anyways, you guys, I've been on here long enough. I hope everyone has a great week this week. And keep praying for these people that, we get answers. Something happens. And I just want to say a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, you know where Sebastian is. You know where he's at. And you can reveal that to whomever you want, Lord. And I pray that you will reveal where he is. And you'll show his father. And you'll show the police. And anyone, Lord. Any searchers. Let Sebastian be found. Let this be solved, Lord. Uncover what happened to him. Expose the darkness. And with Summer Wells, Lord, you know where she is too. And I pray that you'll bring closure to her case, and you'll show somebody, anyone, where she is. That someone might remember a clue, that when they see her picture or her face or something about this, that they could remember, Lord. Please let someone come forward and speak the truth, and let these children be found. Joe Clyde Daniels, Elijah View, Michael Vaughn. Sincere and Classic. Those little boys from California. Let them be found. Bring closure to these cases, Lord God, and bring comfort to their families. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, Lord, watch over Seth and help him. But anyways, you guys, I love you all. I'm thinking of you. I've just been really engrossed in trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian right now. I don't know how long I can go on with that, but that's what I'm doing. But I will be on here to talk about summer and things that I've been thinking about. But I love you all. God bless you. And have a good week, okay? Good night.